We could have just done an entire podcast.
Boy.
We should have just been taping your phone conversation.
The fury.
Yeah, no, that did crank me up. I didn't get to a level where I felt like I wasted it. Yeah. But we are in the new studio. Not quite done, but close. We still got to put furniture in half of it and decorate it. But the bar is in. The liquor shelves are in. The TVs are in. And I just got off of 48 fucking minutes with DirecTV. Trying to, because fucking Derek can't find the remotes. I'm not going to say he lost them. There are a lot of people in here over the course of the last...
Not it.
Yeah, so there's 3 remotes that missing from DirecTV. So I had to call to get 2 new boxes for the new TVs, 2 receivers, and 3 remotes. Simple fucking deal. But no, they have to do them separately. Yeah, the remotes, I'm going to have to transfer you to someone else after you get transferred to another person to verify this order. I don't know why I didn't get transferred the second time to verify the remote order, but it worked out. And there's nothing that makes you sound like more of a cunt than fucking getting off of a customer service call and then trying to explain how infuriating it is to someone else. I had to sit on hold for like ever. Yeah. Well, it was mad. I don't know which customer service it was, but right when I was about finishing the book, I got in it. Someone, I don't know, maybe it was DirecTV again there. Whatever it was, I told the guy I'm like, fuck you. First of all, if they just eliminated all the manners, you would cut customer service in half. Yeah. How are you, Mr. Douglas? What do you care? Let's get to the point. Just get to the point. We see that you have been a member, a customer since 2005, and we appreciate your business. Get to the fucking point.
That was actually the second prong of the balloon prank.
Hang on, let me explain who's
that
here.
Was quick.
As well as Chaille and Chad Shank, everyone's favorite.
Yay!
We have JT Habersaat, comedian.
Hello.
You have not been on before, have you?
We did a Swapcast in my backyard.
Okay. And this is a Swapcast.
No, we did, and we did Mr. Heads.
Oh yeah, when you were gone
last time in Tucson.
We took over
with Brett Erickson,
the hostile
and Jay Whitecotton.
All right,
but not with you here. So,
okay, but this is a Swapcast. What is your podcast?
TheRoadPodcast.com.
All right.
This will be our 100th episode, too, so that works out.
And you are on the road. And everyone on the podcast knows Mishka Shubaly.
Yay.
There's a big round of applause in a car somewhere right now.
As that car plummets to its doom.
Formerly known as the artist who did the opening music for the podcast.
Oh, oof. Way to make it dark.
I thought we started doing that again. Well, there was
just for this episode.
Opening. You wanted to go in cold.
We just started throwing random songs in at the end.
Yeah.
Because really, it does fucking irritate me. It irritates Chad Shank. And once I had that vote of confidence, having to sit through opening music that you hear every fucking time, you fast forward through it.
They didn't want to tell you, but they're opening it with one of my bits now.
Chad, I'm going to meet you in the parking lot when this is done, all right?
I didn't know that I confirmed that. That might have been a drunken confirmation.
No,
dick. A bit of a head nod.
I don't even listen to the podcast, so I had to be lying.
No, podcasts in general, when there's a long introduction. But Chaille and I talked about cutting one of your songs down to just like 6 or 8 seconds or something, just like a line.
I was a footnote to a footnote, and now even that's gone.
But
just like, am I the only one drinking tonight?
Right. The irony of you being cut down to a line, though, is kind of funny.
The clip we had was cut down quite a bit.
Because I just blather on.
No, the song.
No, I remember.
That was cut halfway through the first verse right to the chorus.
Yeah.
But that still wasn't enough.
As it should be.
Stanhope needed 6 seconds.
I know. Just get rid of all the manners.
I just have to assume that everyone is as impatient as I am. We watched this movie today. Mishka was sleeping. JT and Ron Babcock.
Ron Babcock is here with us, too.
Another comic. They did a show in town last night. Mishka and JT have been touring together
for most of the year.
Yeah.
On and off. Yeah.
Since their civil union.
Since our civil, right.
Uncivil
it became
union.
legal.
Well, you were touring with Junior Stopka. What
happened
with that?
I did a month. Well, I went out for 6 weeks of one-nighters in October, and the first 2 weeks were with Jay Whitecotton and Joe Stats. And then Joe dropped off, and then Jay continued, and we met up with Junior, and we did 3 weeks together.
All right.
And so, yeah, we did 3 solid weeks, including Louisville, Kentucky, where that show was the crowd like turned on us, and it got really bad.
Turned on who? Come on, you can't say us.
Yeah, well, we walked into this place. First of all, the venue is great. It's a place called the 3rd Street Dive in Louisville. It's a good rock club.
Clue 1.
Yeah.
It was called the Red Flag.
I had done it before, and it was good. But we roll in there, and they had booked like an opening band we didn't know about. Like it just seemed harmless, like a bluegrassy. They're playing Pixies covers and shit like that. And then the band decided once we started the comedy portion they were going to help the show. Like they were going to they're going to yell out like, "What about just stupid shit?" And White Cotton. Yeah, like heckling, but in their brain they were helping. They weren't,
as are all hecklers.
Yes. And the scene, it was a bar show, and the owner was really cool to us, but there was like people at the bar that were talking and shit, and White Cotton went up first. And if you've never seen Jay White Cotton in action, he gave him a few minutes to adjust, and then when they're still yelling shit, Jay jumped on the table of the band and started kicking all their drinks into their faces.
I don't see how that could go wrong.
And some woman walked by and she was like, "You can't do that." And he said, "Shut your mouth, you ginger whore." And that was the owner's wife who had been really nice to us. We're like, "Oh fuck." And Jay just went to town on the entire crowd, even people that were there trying to enjoy it. And there was this couple, not even a couple, this guy was macking on this girl, and Jay goes, "You at the bar, you're a good looking guy. She's not worth it, man. Fucking just bail. She's not worth whatever you've paid for these drinks. She's never going to blow you. She's a horrible bar witch." And he's just going to town. And she's like, "Fuck you, blah, 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 blah." And
he's still on the table at this
He's still on the table. Never got off the table. I think he did his whole set. And then, and he's opening. And then he walks up, and we had a flat rate, but the guy had put a tip jar also, because, for the band. And Jay goes, "And I don't want your fucking tips," and kicks the bucket like across the floor. Mic drop. Here's Junior Stopka. Okay. So Junior goes up.
Follow that.
But the chick that Jay went to town on was so angry, she just immediately went into attacking Junior. And Junior was fucking not having it. So Junior is a long mic. So Junior leads this chick outside as he's berating her, like onto the street.
Wait, is this the owner's wife still?
No, not the owner's wife. This was the chick who was
the
guy that was trying to hook on the chick at the bar, and she got all insulted that the guy was like, "Well, maybe you're not worth it." And so so we're he goes outside. Junior goes outside, and he's on the sidewalk just screaming like into the mic, like, "Fucking you should not be here." And he says, "Bar the doors." And so White Cotton and I run when they're out on the street and put like stools in front of the chair instead of the door so he can't get in. And then he knocks, and we open it just enough for Junior to get in, then lock her out. And then continue. It was very memorable, but they still paid us and they were nice to us after that. But yeah, I think that was night 3.
All right. Yeah. So when did you
way to kick it off?
Mishka, when did you get on the tour?
I hooked up with them I hooked up with JT in January.
Yeah.
And that was a decent run. We were supposed to do a bunch of dates in Colorado that I had to fucking bail on.
I remember seeing tweets about that.
Well, Junior was supposed to do January with us too, but then I think he got some Last Comic Standing stuff, and so the schedules got fucked up.
Yeah.
And so, we did what was that, 3 weeks in January?
It was very cool when he got knocked out immediately. But
oh, really?
Norm Macdonald was saying like he reminded him of it's the old humorist, I know.
Was he
Mark
tweeting?
Twain?
Mark Twain.
Oh,
Yes.
really? That's
Samuel Clemens.
And then he actually Norm Macdonald tweeted a couple weeks after that episode aired that he was his biggest regret of Last Comic Standing was not passing Junior on.
Oh, that's an awesome.
To the next, yeah.
We had so much fun. We went to Dinosaur World and got really high and walked around and did a podcast there. We had a good time. But then, yeah. So he had to drop.
So why
off.
did you have to drop out?
Well,
this was 4 weeks ago. This one, yeah.
I'm like getting ready to leave New York. I'm getting ready to turn in my book. I've been living in the same apartment for 9 years.
Wait, move out of New York.
Yeah.
Not just leave on tour.
Yeah. Like moving across the country, across the fucking continent. And I woke up one morning with I guess the medical term for it is a tickle in my pickle.
Ugh.
I
wish you hadn't just said that.
It felt like there was like a tiny centipede in my urethra. And I was like, that'll go away. And
true guy fashion.
That always happens.
Yeah. I guess this is the difference between men and
Spray
women.
raid down your dick through one of those WD-40 straws.
The straw. Yeah.
Like a woman feels like bad vibes in her vagina and immediately goes to a specialist. And I waited until I was like, just, you know, it was like a chain of white hot agony pulled, like yanked out of my fucking dick hole by an angry god. And I was still like, well, I only have to pee like 4 times a day. Other than that, it doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah, now that you don't drink anymore.
I should just wait and see.
That's Wednesday.
So after a couple of days of this, I was like, well, you know, the right thing to do is let anybody else who I might have given the fucking super AIDS to, let them know that they're going to die horribly.
Wait, previous to seeing a doctor?
Well, yeah, I was up in Canada, so I didn't have a chance to see a doctor yet. But I
Fucking
knew
Johnny Wrong move.
Yeah,
Guess how this story ends.
well, you know, back before every phone was a cell phone, you could just call someone and just say, you know, gonorrhea, wouldn't want to be ya, and then hang up.
Oh, really?
That's what they do.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's
While
that's
adjusting your monocle and your top hat.
That's what Dear Abby said was the proper way to do it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, maybe I can just, you know, take a note from Brendan Walsh and leave it on the outgoing message on my phone and be like, hey, it's Mishka. If we've had intimate sexual contact in the last couple of months, you should get checked out. Anybody else, leave a message.
It's kind of a blanket coverage.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that would get to everybody, but yeah, I made a couple of fucking uncomfortable phone calls, and then and then I went to, you know, I get the free healthcare, which is exactly, you know, it's worth exactly what you pay for it.
Socialist.
So I'm fucking waiting for like 10 hours in a clinic with like, you know, the guy on crutches. Who's
Wait, is
like,
this because you're Canadian?
No, it's because I don't make any money.
No, you're back in New York, right?
Yeah. This is in New York, and
this is like 4 weeks
social
ago.
welfare in New York is pretty fucking crumbling. But anyway, so I go through all the battery of tests, the fucking spike up your pee hole, you get swabbed a couple of times.
Had to have that once.
Just like
there's nothing worse than having that test.
A Q-tip shoved
And
down
then you were just paranoid, which I think is where this story is going. Because
Have you heard this?
So I get checked for everything like fucking 3 times, you know, and I'm just in and out of all these different waiting rooms and stuff, just handing random cups of urine to fucking strangers. And
did
like,
you
oh,
try
here, look at
that tickle in my pickle joke when you signed into the ER?
No, I was saving
reason for your visit.
saving the best for you, Doug.
Saving the gold, keeping that currency.
And then finally, I was just like, you know, I went to a fucking urologist. Like, am I going to get this fucking amputated? You know, that would solve several problems.
Solve a lot of problems.
And he was like, yeah.
Was it getting worse, or was
Yeah. It was getting just fucking
centipede
agony.
was growing?
No, it gets better. I wake up one morning and both of my eyes are fucking like frozen shut, and I wake up and I have like huge, crusty, disgusting pink eye.
And he's
I was like,
sending
so
me
I like.
photos.
I touched did I fucking put my dick in my eye in my sleep? I'm like,
Again?
I have super AIDS in my eyes now.
did I jizz in my own eye?
Like, all right, what if I lose an eye and then for the rest of my life, I'm like, yar, Captain Dick Eye, you know? I mean, there's none of this that can be lived down. So yeah, finally I go to a urologist and he was like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you.
Listen, it's hard for me to look you in the eye and tell you this news.
He was like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. There's no sign of infection. All your tests have come back negative. Are you under a lot of stress?
Oh, jeez.
I was, you know what? If I wasn't under a lot of fucking stress before my dick started burning and then I had to like make these awkward phone calls and then worry that I'm just a vessel for disease. Yeah. So it was fucking stress. I slept for 3 days and it went away. No medication.
But, sir, you do have dick eye. We will be removing your eyes.
Taking your eyes out.
Doug will eat my eyes.
This whole exchange, he's sending me daily updates because I really want to make it. I'm still going to make it. He's looking more and more like a fucking deranged rabbit with these horrific eyes. It's spread to both eyes. I'm like, don't come. Because we was flying in my eye. To share a fucking rental car with you in like close quarters.
We can post a picture with the episode when the episode goes.
But we had like 8 shows booked in like 5 days.
Yeah, and then every fucking night, JT was like, another one sold out, killer show. I'm like, fuck you, my dick hurts.
That's what you get. The shows were great, fucker. But the night before, I had to my good buddy Johnny out there saved my ass because we had a car rented and it was all in Mishka's name. And then I was going to have to rent a car the night before I flew. And it was
With
like
my AARP
$700
discount.
to rent a new car. And Johnny Q helped me out. He was great. But all the shows out there were fucking fantastic. You should have been there, bro.
Thanks. Rub it in. Rub it in.
I had me and Becker when we used to toy around with that methamphetamine in my mullet days.
Yeah.
We were going from Phoenix and we had a gig in the Bay Area somewhere south of San Francisco. And it was like a 12-hour
San Jose?
drive.
San Jose, Santa Cruz.
It was a
Benicia?
one-nighter. It was triple gig days.
Okay.
So we decided to get some meth for the drive. We were going to drive early the night before and get in the morning and get a hotel.
Solid
plan.
plan.
Yeah, Mishka's nodding his head.
went to the
What could
guys.
go wrong with that?
Yeah.
Meth and driving, that's good.
Well, we were going to drive through the night. It made sense. So we go to the guy's house that sells it, and they're playing poker. Or we went to the guy who knew the guy. Whatever. We're playing poker, and the guy shows up. So we do meth, and we're playing poker now. So we'll play a couple more hands. Let's play some more hands. Hey, fuck it.
We got plenty of time.
We're gambling addicts.
Check-ins not till like 3.
And then, so we end up doing all the fucking meth playing poker. And then we need the guy again. And now it's, 3 a.m. and we're calling the guy.
2
We've
weeks
been up
later.
through the night and we still have a 13-hour drive. And then the guy takes forever. We left at like 5 or 6 in the morning. Had to go through L.A. Oh, it's awful. And after that, I was noticing just a little fucking drop of something fucking discolored at the end of my dick. And I was
Honorable
it was after
discharge.
this horrific, meth purge. And I was just so paranoid that I went to a clinic and they gave me that stab you in the dick
Spike
test.
up the cock.
Yeah.
They twist it. I gotta get a good sample. I gotta get a good sample.
It was a woman, and you could tell because I was so cocky. They asked me how much I drink, and at that point, I was like 5 or 6 beers a night, which was probably
Half.
Well, I was again. This is like 1992 or something. So I wasn't. I was
Jaeger.
drunk every night. I probably fudged a little bit, but I wasn't up to 15 drinks a night back then. And I was flipping, and she said, "Do you use protection?" And I went, "No." So I think she was like grinding it a little extra to make,
3 times divorcee.
And then I had to pay for the antibiotics because I'm leaving the next, to go on the road and to the next gig. So I got the prescription for like $60, which is all the money you have in the world.
That was to get you through the whole run.
Yeah. And then I finally got the results. Nothing. Motherfucker.
My buddy.
I know. Well, that was the thing. After all these tests, I was like, tell me I have something. I've never been so disappointed to find out I didn't have a fucking STD.
Right. Yeah, at least say, it was something else altogether, or tell me I had a fucking kidney infection.
Right.
Nothing,
I was just probably dehydrated. You're like the fucking guy in The Usual Suspects that his piss came out gummy.
I'm gonna have to try harder next time.
You worry too much. It makes your dick hurt. Haven't you heard of that?
I was like, I'm that weak. It's my fucking stupid head ruining my junk.
This new job has me so jumpy, I got centipedes in my penis.
Old centipenis.
So how many, you've been on the road now together for 3 weeks?
Well, we did a month in January. I've been on the road for 3
No, I'm
weeks.
talking about you two together.
I just did 2.5 weeks straight on the East Coast with Nick Lavallee, and then I flew from Boston to San Diego to meet up with Mishka and Ron, and we did Awesome Fest in San Diego Friday, and then where did we go? Phoenix. And
Yeah,
How many
Phoenix,
gigs have you
Tucson.
done together?
We've done like
just
4
did-
on this run, but I've done
okay.
like 2 weeks before I met up with these guys. So
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I still know what time of day JT poops.
yeah, we kind of sync up our cycles. It's very
And you're traveling in a 1993.
Toyota Previa. Yeah.
minivan,
Rock solid.
minivan of destruction.
Solid like a rock.
Yep, there's currently a giant shark head in there. Thank you, Floyd.
And so how do you work it? Do you... Is it just you two? Well, now, because on this gig, you just, Ron Babcock is a comic out of, you ran into him in Phoenix on your way here?
No, he came down from LA and did San Diego with us. So he's doing the 10 days with us or something.
We kind of build it as like co-headlining and we bring out a feature. That's how we've been doing it. So last time White Cotton came out with us when Junior had a drop off, and that worked out really good. And Ron and I had gigged together at a Hell Yes Fest in New Orleans last year. And I saw a set and really dug it, and we just kind of said, hey. And then Mishka was like, my buddy Ron, I ran into him out in L.A.
As fucked up as that documentary, The Unbookables, was, because just like there was no lineup. Just all of a sudden, one comic isn't there, and a new comic is there with no explanation. But that's kind of sounds like what you're doing.
Kind of.
Right. Well, he had to go. He had an ear infection, or he's getting married. So this guy was in town, and so he's on the road for 3 weeks.
Is Doug criticizing our planning?
I think so.
No, I'm saying with you, like I was taking a shit this morning.
Where all the great ideas come from.
How do you make that like a rotating thing? Where, all right, well, just see what such and such is doing. It's
the altercation punk comedy tour. So it's JT and whatever other sucker he can rope.
And I'm a fucking psycho, so I booked myself 6 months out. So like I'm booked through January right now. So like on this run, we tour back to Austin, and then these guys continue on. They hook up with Mike Wiebe and White Cotton and head up north. And then Mishka keeps going, and Ron goes back to L.A., and then I'm home for 5 days, and then I go out for 3 solid weeks of one-nighters with White Cotton and Brian Ziola out of Houston. Yeah. So
and I'm out straight until October 18th. Yeah. When I leave JT, I head up.
Before I forget, because I will plug where they can find your dates individually.
JTcomedy.com has all of my dates and generally all the altercation dates.
And your Twitter is
at jtstandup, because I will not make you spell my last name. So add me on at jtstandup.
And Mishka?
MishkaShubaly.com and at Mishka Shubaly on Twitter.
And the roadpodcast.com is the swapcast for this.
Shubaly for a million people is Shubaly.
Spelled like it sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that would be SHOO. There's a million ways it sounds. It could be like Jubilee, Shubaly with
Jubilee. That's fucking keeper.
The Silver Jubilee.
I did a show in Montgomery, Alabama last fall, and they had it on the wall, a night of comedy with JT Habersaat.
People often seem disappointed that I'm not a black woman.
I told you that this morning.
All right, so the gigs you've done so far.
I'm reluctant to say it, but they've kind of been good.
Fuck you. You're reluctant. Every show I book is
because if I say they've been good, then the next one we're going to get fucking murdered at.
Yeah, well, it's El Paso.
I'm ready to die.
Yeah. It works out.
I thought we were going to die on the road today, and my first thought was I'm too young to die, and then I instantly corrected, and I was like, no, it's probably time.
My problem when I worked with not my problem, the audience's problem working with Mishka was when you're billing it as a comedy show.
Yep.
Because Mishka has really good lyrics and some of them are very funny, they think he's supposed to be a comic.
Right.
And they're
it
not.
goes into darkness.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about it.
Yeah, it works out though with us. Well, first of all,
he wasn't funny.
Yeah.
You gotta tell that guy he's not a fucking comic, lady.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so many times the local opener or the host or whatever will be like, incredibly funny guy, great killer comedian, know, like, and
just
I'm like
standard intro for
and he walks in with
show.
a guitar, so it's a nightmare in everybody's head.
And you can just see people fucking like,
guitar comic.
Yeah. But the first tour we did, our neurosis like meshed perfectly. Like we both have equal control issues in weird ways.
Yeah,
we both used to be
like
that guy in the band.
The two old men in the balcony of the Muppets.
Right. So it worked out really well though. And
man, people are starting to figure it out now.
Well, it's also the matter, like the altercation tour. Like
when you stand on their table and kick their drinks into their faces.
If you're working with people like White Cut and Stopgate, they fucking get it.
Yeah. It kind of
winning
drives
hearts
the
and
point
minds.
home.
Yeah. Plus, the altercation tour brand is established enough at this point that like people come there expecting weird shit. They don't expect what happened.
I don't know.
Are you all right over there? Jesus,
you get paced.
I think Chaille just got some dick eye.
Just happened?
I just got a lime shot right in the eye.
The first thing I did was look down for you're pouring a drink over there.
And I look up and I open my good eye and I see his Derek pointing and holding in a laugh, but his mouth wide open.
That's what you get for
I thought my hearing was gone too.
That's what you get for the dick eye jokes, man.
That's what
instant karma.
That's what you get for fucking with Derek when his bicycle exploded during a podcast that time.
Next time we're going to give you the Q-tip up the pee hole by like stubbing out a cigarette, just twisting it in there.
Looked like you were having a stroke over there. All right. But yeah, no, I mean the altercation brand is established enough for weird shit that people are like expecting. They're willing to go with it by this point. And so the Awesome Fest show, we were the only comedic act with all bands. And I thought that went really good. You know,
Yeah, that was great. I mean, Ron, got it fucking headed in the right direction by coming out screaming at everybody until they settled down.
Yeah.
And then they sort of fell in line.
They were really good. And then Phoenix was fantastic. You had a really good set there. That was Third Space was
a
venue
ton
there.
of support from the
Someone
local
suggested
comics
we
there.
title this podcast the Green Room, which is pretty much taken by Paul Provenza, even though it is a green room.
We're in a literal
But,
green room and lime in the eye.
and it's kind of I guess obvious, a little too obvious for what this. But now that I'm just not even listening to you two, and talking about,
I was going to say that was a killer segue.
well, you guys just sitting there talking about what great sets you had.
Remember
We had a
that
good set in Phoenix.
We were talking about that too. Yeah,
Tell me the shitty sets. No one wants to hear about your good sets.
Well, last night well, we can talk a little bit about the Bisbee show. Not that show was shitty because it was great, but the fact that
I fucking hate doing shows in town. I really.
the sound guy, there's this cowboy sound guy who fucking is trying to convince Mishka to use the DI. And he has
I was
this
going to stab him in the neck.
direct line in for his guitar when he's got this sick
Which is basically the equivalent of like telling a comic, like, actually, we're going to leave the TVs on for you and play a little background music. So I think it's going to make you that much funnier. And I was like, fuck you.
Oh God. And so then the somebody from the venue got up and started doing upcoming announcements like 4 times during the show.
And then he was like adjusting your mic while you were on stage, and then fucking cut Ron off. to,
No,
like,
Ron, what did
10
he tell you?
seconds into his
Ron
set.
Babcock, hop on the mic for a minute. What did he say?
He told me, he's like, oh, hey, we start every show off with an invocation, like a prayer.
A prayer.
So just do that real quick. And I didn't know if he was like the owner. I was like, I had no idea
I
what
know
he was
runs
doing.
the place on some level. I don't know his
He was
relationship
on
with the owner.
emails. Yeah, that's all I
He
know.
seemed a little cushy there, like he was his space and we just happened to be there.
I don't know if you guys could all hear it. I was all the way in the back, and he was heckling pretty much everybody.
The
He had
sound
shit
guy?
to say, yeah.
The
That
cowboy?
was all I could fucking focus on for most of it. It was like, I'm gonna fucking. And then I saw the owner chick would go over there, and I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
that's like.
Well, he walked by us on his way to the bathrooms while Doug was on at the beginning, and he goes, "You work with this guy a lot?" I'm like, "Yeah, when I can." He's like, "He's a pretty good opener. He's got some potential." Chaille and I just about fell on the fucking floor.
Kid's got some moves.
with his big spur cowboy boots clanging around.
Sound man walking backstage with cowboy boots, clip clopping like a Clydesdale.
And
Nice.
for the listener, keep in mind, this is a stage that the audience has to walk across the stage to get to the restrooms.
Like up on,
Like on the stage,
in the middle
yeah.
of the stage or the steps, and then you just kind of banana off to the left,
man.
and that's where you go to the restroom. It's like,
So yeah, the tour's been great. Been playing legendary venues with fucking just great hospitality.
But the
no
crowd was
technical
great.
issues.
But my mic went out 3 fucking times. It dropped.
Well,
like
and they knew
4.
that cable was bad.
Dude.
Well, the fucking Bisbee crowd is so weird because it's like they took all the extras from like an Aerosmith video from the 70s, but the actual people, so they're redneck cowboys, but they're all like 79.
Yeah, but they're hippies too.
Well, yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's the best.
It was
But
that kind of
old
like-
hippie cowboys is
I
definitely
know
my target
almost
demographic.
everyone in the room, so I hate doing it. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, we know you do this for. It's
Yeah,
just
it's weird. It's like doing a hometown gig. Yeah.
At
The-
one
the
point,
one-
I tried to go into the crowd, and I go, I can't do this. I know every fucking person that I can see.
crowd work. You were going to do crowd work.
Well, it's just I was just
You hear that
for an
cricket?
aside.
That was the perfectly timed cricket in the background.
like you can't use where you're from.
Well, you did do a Safeway reference. Didn't you do like the slow?
Oh,
yeah.
I did all
Oh, yeah.
sorts of
Local
like,
shit.
very inside.
Yeah.
Safeway
Don't
jokes
you hate
kill.
when you're at Safeway and you're stuck in lane 4 when Sherry's at the register? And
Fucking killed.
everyone knows.
Well, of course it killed. Local reference, man.
but
person
she's
who got
fucking slow as shit too.
The person who got the biggest applause last night was Floyd.
Yeah, man.
He won Bisbee's
Yeah.
Got Talent
Yeah.
basically by getting cancer.
Yeah,
So stoked to see him on a bar stool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking good.
He's looking great. Yeah.
Maybe I should get cancer.
Oh, you got it. It's right at the tip of your
Let that
dick.
fucking hang.
The dick eye wasn't enough.
They didn't test for cancer.
When Mishka tries to be self-deprecating about his looks,
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
pussy just
Fucking
falls
jerk.
all over Mishka.
The worst thing is that like I'm starting to lose my hair and I'm graying and like I just have preening vanity and I built this abhorrent personality around being good looking and now that my looks are starting to fade, I'm just gonna have to deal with being a shitty
Dear
person.
diary,
It's hard.
Ran 97 miles today, shirtless. Now they call me the Silver Fox instead of the fucking Sexy Hound or whatever bullshit.
Mishka, can you take off your hat right now?
No.
No, I just want to see what you think losing your hair is. Because like right now you're going up to like guys in wheelchairs, be like, oh yeah, I sprained my ankle, man, so I know how it feels.
For the listener, we've got George Costanza next to Ron Babcock. Yeah.
No, you know, he looks like, I've been trying to remember, it's not Elvis Grbac. It was another quarterback of that era.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Matt Hasselbeck. That's a good one. Yes.
Sports.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Oh yeah. Sorry for the George Costanza thing.
Still not who I was thinking of, but that works.
Right on. Yeah, we were lamenting the other day. We're like, what are we going to talk about? The shows have been good. What do you talk about when the shows are fucking pretty good?
Yeah, and all the fucking drunken hijinks we've been up
Yeah.
to.
Are you taking down some pussy there, Mishka?
No. Never.
Quasimodo over here with his thinning hair.
Mishka
Little
got
old
laid
me.
so often. And not always, top talent. But often when he worked with me, and that is saying a lot, because there's one pretty solid rule is nobody gets laid when they work with me.
You gave me a nickname. I don't know if you remember this. You gave me the nickname the first long weekend we went out together. You walked into the hotel room and me and Walsh were just sort of laying there barely alive. And you said, I'm going to call you El Diablo because you can get 3 6s in 3 nights.
I said that.
The kid's got some
gold.
jokes.
Write that shit down. That's a keeper.
Well, my favorite, the best fucking story on the road with you was, we did that show we did the radio thing in Houston. And, there was that like aspiring porn star co-host there who I was like working on all day.
Aspiring?
And I was like, I'm going to have sex with a hot girl tonight. And I was so fucking amped about it. And then, after the show, she comes back with us, like, we've been fucking doing lines together all night and blah, blah, blah. We go back and then we're in the hotel room with her. And, Walsh was like, hey, go get your guitar. And I was like, no, man, I'm off the clock, And he was like, no, the girls love the guitar, man. Like, go get your guitar, Like, fuck, come on, man, I'm trying to help you. And I was like, it's Walsh. I can trust him, right? Sure. So I fucking walk out of the room the second, and I'm like, just barefoot and like fucking, I walk out, the second I walk out, I hear the door go click behind me.
Deadbolt. And
the fucking lock. Yeah. And I was like, wait, guys! And then I was like knocking on the door, like fucking wandering around. It was like high school. And I was just, I can hear the sounds. It sounded like the jungle in there. And I was like, oh. And then finally, like fucking an hour and a half later or something, I'm just still moping in the hallway. And Doug comes out and he was like, you all right? And I was like, yeah. And, and you said, you want me to get a hooker? And I was like, no.
Sad
The end.
from Peanuts.
Yeah, but what you didn't know is I was already in that from a year or two before. That girl wasn't like someone.
Yeah, aspiring porn star? What does that even mean? You're either fucking on film or you're not, right?
No,
I think that was her career goal. She was going to school for it.
Yeah,
or
she's
something.
be like a bikini model,
An apprenticeship.
topless.
She had yet to develop her drug addiction that would lead her to.
Sure.
Amateur fucker.
Yeah.
Amateur.
I guess the word for an aspiring porn star is just a slut, right?
That's weird that
she
Brendan
was
Walsh
a very nice girl.
Yeah, to you, you can say that.
I remember the time with Mishka and Brendan Walsh in Tacoma.
Oh God,
This was a low point for you, I believe.
yeah. I think this is the end of the end.
Where we were halfway.
It was in a stairwell at a jazz club in Tacoma.
I played that.
Hennigan will.
What's that called?
Hennigan will never
Is Mr.
forgive me for
something?
that.
Downstairs or something.
Mr. Bones or something?
No, Mr. Bones was the place eventually. That was a little bit outside the downtown. This was, it was an old bank. You walked through the old bank vault to get through, and upstairs was a strip club. This was back at the hotel.
No. Let's keep talking about the
shittier than the bar. And
I think it was Mr. Bones. It was where
Jazz
some
Bones.
very unattractive girl blew him on the stairwell.
On the stairwell.
Oh. No, I was thinking of the time when he was begging Brendan Walsh to kick him in the nuts.
Oh, that was bingo.
What?
Oh, it was
Brendan
it was
Walsh.
Oh, yeah,
And then-
you still have that clip,
And
right?
then you were talking, you guys were like, it was this whole thing where like, now, I'm talking full foot. I want the top of the foot to get underneath, to get
Lift and
to where
separate.
his toe could be touching your butthole. You're like,
grundle.
I don't want you to fucking chimp out here and not give me the full foot. This was a whole.
That's
and
a great line.
Bingo's like, you don't want to do this. And you're like, no, he has to do this. Bren's all, I'm gonna kick you, and you fucking folded like a house of cards. You went straight to the ground.
That's how I got pink eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. You missed really good
Yeah,
shots.
that's stuff like Jackass does for money.
Yeah.
Or at least with
It's just a Wednesday.
an audience.
This was to feel alive.
Yeah, at the end of the night.
Oh, I felt alive. Good God. I felt everything. I still want to puke just thinking about that.
I remember that venue. They hated me there. It was not good.
I can't remember what that place was called.
Jazz Bones, I think.
No, it wasn't.
Jazz Bones,
No,
that's
Jazz
it.
Bones is the
Jazz
place
Bones.
outside of town.
Well, I'm talking about the place.
Jazz
in
Bones is
Michigan.
where I played.
Yeah,
They
that's
hated
where
me.
Yeah.
I bought that painting that would look like the night before Nightmare Before Christmas. It used to be above the booth, that orange painting with the weird guy, and then at some point I go,
Did the
I
sushi
hate
bar on the
this.
third level?
What?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
Oh, yeah,
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds right. I know.
Anyway, well, that's
And
a good
time
for
was
a
had
break.
by all.
That's a good time for a break. Take a piss.
Yeah, let's take a break. I wanted something other than a beer.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back. The eBay auction for the football helmets to offset the costs of this new fantastic fucking spot, the studio and football room, is going on right now. It fucking took off. And right now, which we're recording on, Tuesday night? And that will wrap up. This will be out, and it will wrap up Sunday the 13th, opening Sunday of football. So you can watch every 15 minutes, starting noontime Pacific, so 3 p.m. East Coast. They start ending, and they start with the East Coast teams. Right now, San Francisco 49ers, because I put up that whatever team sells for the most money, I will be a fan of that team. I will wear their jersey every Sunday in the Funhouse. And right now it looks like San Francisco, but savvy eBayers will be waiting till the last minute. So I don't know who I'm rooting for, and whoever buys the helmet for the most money gets an invite to the Super Bowl party, VIP access. We'll even save you seats at the bar. So yeah, check that out on eBay. Just search Stanhope Funhouse, and the helmets will come up. And thank you for your support. I'm flattered and amazed always that you fucking hardcores will go that far out. And we'll see you at the Super Bowl. And the everyone who wins their particular helmet will get there. We get a guy. Oh, it's the guy that did Floyd's colostomy bag. He won that contest. He does engraving, so he's going to make the plaque with all the names and your teams. Thank you for helping build this studio on the wall here. It'll be probably the first decoration we put up, because this has taken so fucking long. We haven't put a goddamn thing on the wall except for TVs. So thank you for that, and yeah, even if you're not buying, it's fun to watch during football. See who's the most popular team of the Doug Stanhope podcast listeners.
I can do a plug when we're back.
We are back, and you're doing a plug. You have a new record out.
You gotta be the fucking dictator. Yeah. So I guess we're back.
Oh, hold on.
Or are we?
See, we're not. We're not.
I wanted you to plug when your mic was off.
We're sending this out live. Yeah, I have a new record, Coward's Path, coming out October 2nd in the United States. It's already out in the UK. I have a book coming out March 8th called I Swear I'll Make It Up to You, which sounds a little sincere, but if you think about it, like your really shithead, incredibly messy, drunk friend, that's what he says to you all the time, and he never does.
All right.
That's out March 8th on Public Affairs.
Can you tell me what it's about? I'm only saying this because when people ask me now, I'm doing all these interviews for the UK coming up.
If I answer this question, then you have to answer the difference between London audiences and fucking American audiences.
Local reference.
Okay, what I'm asking, do you have bullet points you can say? Because I don't. Right now I'm saying it's about like my life with my mother, which sounds like the most boring fucking book in the world. But I got to get bullet points of the dark shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a really fucking dark book. But right now I just got, it's like my life with my mother, but she's like weird and
Right.
Yeah. The fucking, 15-second elevator pitch is how long distance running helped me forgive my father. Obviously, it's a lot less touchy-feely than that.
Yeah, that's my problem is because that sounds boring as shit. And I know your book isn't going to be.
There's no good way to put in the elevator pitch, of when you're sitting on the toilet, like just shit water flowing out of you, and then you throw up on your own crotch. Like I haven't.
I did that.
Okay, show of hands.
Yeah.
Who's done that?
Who's a man?
I've thrown up.
Who's a man?
I puked on my genitals. Yes, but you can't put that in the fucking the jacket.
Exactly. To give examples is to give away the book, so I have to write like.
Yeah. My new book is about just fucked up road stories. So
There
you have a book?
yeah, I'm working on a new
stories.
book. I'm working on it. It's about
A new book? Do you already have a
I
book?
already wrote a book. Yeah, the Altercation Archives. It's all interviews with people like Henry Rollins and David Cross and Jelly Biafra and Mike Patton, people like that.
All right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm working on my second book now. It's going to be road stories detailing 2014 into 2015 tours.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of fucking.
How do you feel now, having turned in the big fucking
Fucking
draft
terrified of the notes I'm going to get back.
Yeah.
And that it's boring because I already, it's boring to me because I lived it.
I'm sure it's boring as shit. I mean, I'm trying to, console you.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'll read it.
I'm so glad you didn't put that vomiting on your penis part in.
It's so played out.
For the dust
So
jacket.
played out.
Yeah.
There were like two overlap because I read a lot of books while I was reading.
Yeah.
While I was writing, when I stepped away, I didn't want to watch dumb TV and
Spurns you to keep writing.
exactly. It's
Well, the problem is, though, too, is that if you read something that's a little bit similar to what you were going to write, then you won't write it.
well, I did anyway because there were two stories in Artie Lang's book.
The new one. The new Artie Lang book. Yeah.
But one, I go, first of all, I've told that story on podcasts years ago. It was my first time doing acid, and it was a vomit story. And he had a similar story in his, but I go, fucking, your book is way later than my story was out on podcasts. So I can't remember what the second one was. It was just a similarity.
Yeah.
Well, you can get into your head where you just
head.
psych yourself out, like, oh, every fucking story's been told, so why would I even pick up a pen? And you can't do that. You have to just keep fucking writing.
And if you're a fuck up,
you
you're
have
going to
more
have
than
similar
one.
stories.
Plenty of similar stories.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how we bond. That's how we make friends in this life.
I shamed myself in a new way. Would you guys like to hear about it?
The fucking getting speared with the stainless steel Q-tip in the dick. That's how you bond in a green room. Me too. Me too. Not a lot of other professions.
That's the thing too, is like, it's like when I got shipwrecked and like drank my own piss and then got rescued 5 minutes later. It's like part of me was weeping, and the other part was, man, the guys are really going to love this one.
That's a good one.
This is a good story.
It's not whether you win or lose, it's whether you wake up with a good story.
Well, in Tucson the other night, I had a weird experience. Not weird, an awesome experience. After the show, I was hanging at the bar, and this guy came up from the show and was like, I don't want to make this weird, which is usually a red flag. Like, oh, here we fucking go. And he was like, I'm like, okay. And he slaps down 2 50s and he says, this is for your podcast and this is for Chaille. I really like what you guys do. So Chaille, here's $50 from that fine gentleman.
Right on, man.
There you go. Straight to Chad Shank.
Going straight to Chad Shank.
Chad, how'd that all right?
I don't know how that happened.
All right.
I'm not going to argue.
There's your wages for the year.
That's it. So
All monies that are floated this way go to Chad Shank.
Okay. Well, much appreciated.
No, thank
fella. It
you.
was
That's great.
And thanks to the fucking
I wish I had his
random
name. It was the
stranger.
end of the night, and I was like in the process of settling up and kind of hammered, so I didn't get his name.
no,
You know what?
Sweet.
One of the things we're going to do now that we're organized, we have this This is not a pig pile of forced space into a football room. This is an actual studio now for us. Is we will have folders and shit and a shelf just for the stuff that people have sent so much stuff in this transition period that I set it down somewhere to thank them for it, and it gets fucking lost.
Yeah.
So all this stuff you send to 212 Van Dyke Street, Bisbee, Arizona 85603, I will remember to thank you for, because we'll have it in a specific spot. And
we have shelf space now.
Right, we have all sorts of shit.
You know, we were talking about doing
Hang on, I want it because I get a couple things. Got a package today to Doug and Bingo, which I usually let Bingo open those because it's always Christmas at the mailbox if Bingo's name is on it. But I opened it because she forgot to, and it was some guy who sent 2 books, not to me or Bingo, but to Derek and Ggreg Chaille. And he sent a hatch chili cookbook because after that trip up to Pinos Altos with that fucking phenomenal, I can't remember, is it the Longhorn? What's the name of the, it's the only place in Pinos Altos.
Only restaurant.
Bar restaurant up there that has this amazing
I'll have a link on the site.
hatch green chili
stew. Oh.
Yeah.
It's an appetizer.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Bingo canceled her entree and ordered another one.
Just drank it.
That she ate instead of
so good.
And she,
That's a true
it's
testimonial
true,
right there.
This is true to Bingo fashion. We ordered the hatch green chili stew as an appetizer for the table. And then she did this whole thing of like the salad needs to be just salad, nothing on it. And then like
Chicken.
just lettuce and then a chicken breast.
Grilled chicken, but no dressing.
Yeah, no dressing,
croutons.
this whole thing. And then once she ate the lion's share of the green chili stew.
Which, if she sees pork generally, she'll go, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or
Just me.
beef.
Yeah.
But occasionally she wants it and then she wants all of it. Yeah.
I've seen her not eat more chicken breast on just lettuce with nothing. I've seen her turn away more than she's actually eaten.
She orders that just as the garnish for the real meal.
That's why I gain weight onto her. So during the salad was placed down exactly how she ordered it. And then she tugged the gal's sleeve and goes, we'll have another one of these green chili, the hatch green chilies.
Nice.
And then the salad was never touched. And she mowed down the entire
Just ate
hatch
stew?
green
Well, I'll
chili.
take it to go.
I would eat 2 of them right now.
Nice.
It's that fucking good, but it was really funny because she always passes on eating meat, and she ate fucking about a pound of pork that night, which is awesome.
I'm going to save the Derek book for,
Yes.
because we're going to do another podcast with Derek while we have Chad Shank. So that'll be the next podcast after this. Someone sent us as a bartender who said, I don't have your name because, again, I lost a fucking letter somewhere, but is a bartender who is going to Australia to bartend for 6 months and said, sent us 2 Negroni shirts from Negroni Week, which I say we started during that tin can
ripping your
rehab.
bit?
We
I'd never heard of Negroni before you guys told me about it.
You're just a Liquor Week aggregator, Doug. You're a lousy plagiarist.
No one knew what goddamn Negronis were till we made them popular on this podcast. We were going through all these 1920s or 30s recipes for cocktails every
The
night.
Shining.
Yeah, exactly.
Lloyd.
And the Negroni was our favorite of the 30 days.
We both came back after I had left for a while because you finished the rehab with Hennigan, and I was gone for a while because I went to a convention. Came back, and we both said our favorite drink. Like, you say it. Okay, we'll say it both at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Negroni. No way! It was really fucking that.
Still drink them.
above
I have
and
to
beyond.
close. I can't do it now
Yeah.
while I have another podcast to do. But and I still get, especially in these interviews, I snapped on a guy today. I didn't tell you this, Chaille.
Oh, because you're doing
Between
interviews.
breakfast.
I was at breakfast, and Hennigan, because he was in Burning Man, said, all right, any interviews, I told the PR girl, Mary, in London at 11 a.m. So if your phone rings at 11 a.m.,
Local time, yeah.
that's an interview, but just one a day. So it rang today. I had no idea that I had to do one. We're still hungover from the show last night. Yep. And I'm like, oh, fuck, it's 11 o'clock. So I know. And the guy, every fucking interview in the UK, ever since I first played there in 2002, So what are the biggest differences between the U.S. audience and the U.K. audience? And it just went through my head, but it just came out of my mouth. I go, that's the stupidest fucking question. I'm so, and I immediately, I'm sorry, and it's not you, but it is. That's like saying, what's the difference between a Wednesday audience and a Thursday audience?
Yes.
Well, it depends on where you are. The kind of place, the mood, how like prepared you are, how hungover you are. Every audience is, it's fucking chaos theory, my friend.
A Thursday show in Denver without Mishka was sold out and awesome.
Oh.
As was a Friday. As was a Sunday.
This is my favorite thing, and I fucking snapped on somebody about this, is that I'll get, like, I've done a couple of trips to the UK, which is like a little different than your trips, because it's me just fucking begging and scrounging, trying to get a gig anywhere, trying to get fucking 20 pounds or whatever, anything. Now, I have people who will write to me 6 times. I can't believe you're coming. Is this sold out? How much are tickets? I'm like, it's a free show. It's not going to be sold out. It's going to be like me and you and one other person. And then they don't fucking come.
Make it.
And then the next day they're like, oh man, I got sucked into a peep show marathon on Netflix. When are you coming back? It's like, I crossed the fucking ocean for you, my one fan.
I used to say that over there. Like, well, you're playing fucking
I'm
Bristol.
never coming
Why don't you
back.
play Bath?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you know what? If I played your living room, you'd go, why can't you come into the bedroom?
Yeah, for real. Yep.
And I instantly felt horrible because I just alienated my entire UK audience by doing that. By calling out that one guy.
Well, you know what?
You could say thank you
should do is charge based on your talent. Because you know what? You say, oh, it's a free show. People imagine that it sucks.
Yeah. That's a weird thing.
Charge them.
Yeah, because a lot of the shows, like in Tucson and Phoenix, those were both free shows, but we had like flat rates, guarantees. So, but it's a weird perception, right? Because people are like,
especially with a free show, people go, you know what? I got to take a shit anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go in and then I'll yell at him.
I'm always worried. I'm always
Throw
worried
me
about
out?
that. Yeah. I try and do most of my shows like 10 or 12 bucks because then
No, yours should be free.
Oh, nice burn. Give me back that 50. Well, you gave it to Chad. All right.
You can take it from my wallet over here.
My friend Chad, he can have it. Fucking cut down.
I've tried, my audiences are small enough, but I've tried to organize where, just have people pay me directly.
Yeah,
the 3 of you can pay me directly.
Pay you directly every night.
So far, no good.
You're the doorman?
Yeah.
Wearing a
That's the
guitar?
thing. This is on you, the listeners. You want to see this Mishka Shubaly character in your town? Let him know that he's got a fan base. Spread his shit around.
Very
Throw
attainable.
some links out to some of his stuff on YouTube or wherever the fuck you find
touring.
music.
Jesus Christ.
I
Yeah,
will
the
play your
road
living
dates.
room.
Yeah, where are you going? Throw some towns out.
Well, we're in El Paso tomorrow, and then Austin with Lulu Monkey. That'll be cool. And then San Antonio.
Yeah, and San Antonio, I'm going on to Arlington and Denton. And then I'm going to see Joby in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We're doing. Next Friday I leave for 3 weeks of one-nighters, so we go to Norman, Oklahoma, and see Joby there. We're going to Amarillo and seeing Chaille White up there.
Yep.
And
the
crossing-
Sunset Grill?
I'll be at
No, we're doing.
I'm at Leftwoods.
Leftwoods.
Yeah.
They treat us great there.
Yeah,
It's
they've been
really
great.
cool.
Shout out to Cameron.
Go get
Yeah.
the green chili stew at
They're
the
all on
Sunset
your
Grill.
websites.
They're all jtcomedy.com has all.
Yeah,
that
we'll put a
shit.
link on the page.
And then winding down through Florida and stuff.
Florida.
Yeah.
Shit, I had something. Oh, it's on my list over there.
Oh yeah.
Where's your list?
Right there.
I'm gonna plug my shit in the meantime.
Do it.
Okay?
Go
I
for
just
it.
filmed my new special for Stand Up Records. It's gonna be out in February as a special edition DVD and also on a lot of streaming sites. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, that's it.
Oh wait, you were starting because I told you not to tell me
What?
about trolling Will Ferrell.
Oh
and
shit! This is a good one. Yeah,
Kevin Hart.
This is at South by Southwest this year. I was filming something, which I can't talk about, but I was filming a thing, and I was walking to it.
Snuff film?
Yes, a snuff film. It was an industry thing. I was walking to this shit, and I looked down the street on 6th Street by the Velveeta Room, and I see Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart walking down there promoting whatever their new movie is. They're just walking down the street. And
Get hard.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Oh, was that it?
I don't know. That sounds right.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That sounds right. The police, they go to jail thing.
Will Ferrell and a black fellow.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Also,
I was thinking
known as Kevin Hart.
When he said that, I thought it was Kevin James.
Oh no.
So, yeah.
No, Kevin Hart. And, yes, the black fellow.
Yes, all
Did I say that wrong?
The colored gentleman.
That's not
I was
what
going
I
to call you
said.
out for Negroni.
Oh my God.
Negroni, please.
So they're walking down the street flocked by cameras, and they're in this like Daily Show getup, and they're doing like man on the street interviews. And I just see them, and I just snap a quick photo because I'm like, that's funny, but whatever. I don't want to engage. I don't give a fuck. And they see me, and I've got the like kind of Elvis Costello nerd glasses, and they're immediately like, oh, Austin, hipster dude, we're gonna fuck with this guy. And so they beeline straight to me, like, sir. I'm like, all right,
Game on.
game on. And they're like, sir, can we talk to you for a minute? I'm like, absolutely. And I say, and I just pretend I don't know who they are. I'm just like they're doing a Kickstarter or something like that.
Like everyone in Austin would.
Right.
You don't matter. I don't
You're so last year. But no, I was just like, pretend I didn't know who they were. And they're like, can we talk to you? I'm like, yeah, sure. And there's like a dozen cameras rolling around us on it. So it's like a live thing. And they say, can we talk to you about like what kind of movies do you like comedies? You into comedies? I'm like, no, not at all. They're like real dark. And they're like, what? Why not? I'm like, I'm just not into comedies at all. I said, well, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a comic. They're like, you don't like comedies? I'm like, yeah, it's just like watching work. and the black fella, Chaille refers to him, is looking at me real confused. And Will Ferrell's just kind of going, oh, wait a minute. And so they're like, well, do you like any, like, you got to like some comedies. I'm like, yeah, there's some comedies I like some current stuff. Well, what do you watch? I said, well, let's see, what's a current one? I really liked Clue. Clue, the fucking Tim Curry movie from the 80s. I'm trying to do the most obscure dated three. And the
Curly Sue.
Yeah. And so Kevin Hart's looking at me like, what the fuck is Clue? And Will Ferrell's going, oh no, this guy's trolling us. Like, he's like, that is a good movie. But he's getting pissed. He's like, that was a good movie. And so we're going back and forth, and I'm just keeping it as dark as possible. At one point, Kevin Hart just goes, man, this is pretty fucking depressing. I was like, yeah, well, man, life is pain. They're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so they're like, well, it has to be some, like, get it upbeat. Like, there's got to be some romantic comedies. I'm like, well, let's see. I really liked When Harry Met Sally. Just all this old dated shit. And at the end, I was like, you guys want to get a selfie together just to like document this moment forever? And Will Ferrell goes, no, and just walked away, stormed off. And Kevin Hart, much to his credit, was like, sorry, man, you can be a little uptight. So I'm like, this is totally cool, man. And then their PA ran over to get me to sign the release, and he was fucking dying. He was like, you were just trolling them. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. This is fucking comics. So.
That's so Austin of you.
Have you ever been? That's so Raven.
Have you ever been in an audience, a comedy audience, where the comic goes, hey, what do you do? Like, goes after you, and you're like, oh, no, I don't.
Oh.
Like, I don't want to say I'm a comic.
Like, say you're a comic.
Like, you need some kind of scarlet letter so they know that you're in the industry.
I'll usually lie.
Well, that happened in, was it Toronto? One of those shows we
The
did.
music hall?
I think it was in Canada, where someone in the front row was a comic. And I was just doing the same reason I went into the crowd. Yeah. I don't need to do that for that bit.
It couldn't have been Toronto.
Like, just what do you do? I just need as an example of, you know how that bit goes. And he said, I'm a comic. And I'm like, why are you in the fucking front row then?
It wasn't Frank or David Hetty, was it?
I have no idea. It was one of those Canadian shows.
One of those Canadian.
Just tell people you're a long distance T-shirt salesman, because that's basically what I am.
That's what it is.
The guitar's a fucking prop. I'm just here to sell clothes
and booze. I'm shilling booze. I'm advertising booze and selling clothes.
You sell more booze than laughs.
Oh shit!
I mean, a good comic
he's
does.
rough today.
Chaille, you're gonna be on the couch tonight, man.
No, a good comic does. You want the bar to fucking sell. I mean, that was Toronto when you decided to fucking tell everyone, because it's all assigned seating, and it's a huge sold out show, and Doug, 15, 20 minutes in, bars finally slow down out in the lobby.
At my shows, the bar is
Doug goes, hey, by the way, you can get up anytime you want, and you'd think someone yelled fire.
Oh, really?
And the fucking manager's out going, what is it? I
the
go,
theater.
open the other bar, open it. And they're like, hey guys, over here, we got tall boy cans. Over the pizza girl was now selling beers.
Nice.
And I'm like, you want them to, because remember what happened? You ended up selling more per show than Jim Jeffries.
Yeah.
You had to do the math.
He said, I think the only one who sold more, and he goes, is Jim Jeffries. He's the only guy that sold this much booze. And then he said, You might have been higher. I go, let's
Show me
go
the
check.
receipt.
Let's
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
check the numbers.
I used to
And
get shit
came
from
back.
I used to get shit from bar managers that they were like, man, like, I don't know if we can book you here again. That was so depressing. And I was like, look at these people. They're drinking like their fucking lives depended on it.
It's
Isn't
a
that what you
symbiotic
want?
relationship. It's not a cut. You're there to do your craft, but at the same time, you can't be like oblivious to the fact that they need to sell liquor.
Oh, yeah.
And when you say something like that, there's a fucking spike
And
that doesn't hurt you at all.
I'm not trying to sell liquor.
Yeah.
I know that if I was sitting in the middle of a long row at a theater and I only brought 2 drinks down with me, well, they're gone in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And now I want to get up, but I don't want to look like a douche. I hate this show because I want to drink. So I'm doing that purely we're trying to find this word. I'm transplanting my own feelings onto the audience, thinking they must hate this.
Projecting.
When
Empathy,
people
right.
say I play to the back of the room, I play to me if I were in the room.
Right.
And I'm not the fucking most normal guy, but I still feel like that.
Yeah.
That's why I had the same thing about people coming to back
Two
to
shows
back
in a row,
shows.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same shit.
Yeah.
By the way,
Anyway.
merch sales spiked as well.
Hey, Chaille's going to be selling T-shirts because we're not bringing merch to the UK. But we have UK tour merch that will be on the website. Jim Ether is doing
Jim Ether, the fantastic
fucking
Jim
fantastic.
Ether, the best.
I love him. So that'll be on the website, so you can buy shit from there because those houses that big, and then tax bullshit and quarantine your shit at the border. It's
happened?
really
Yeah,
just trying to bring merch in to have foreign
It's like a
country.
fucking embargo,
fucking-
like you're bringing oil from Iran.
Yeah, well, like I remember one time when my first CD was out, driving into Canada. Well, how many do you have? Because we tax you, and then we count them on the way out, or
yeah.
some
Fuck
bullshit.
you, really?
Yeah, stupid. This is too much of a problem.
Yeah, there's no way around Canadian customs when it comes to merch.
Yeah.
There's no way. We
Got
are
mine
always,
in your eye
we
again.
never do anything.
We're going to
line
wrap this
blinking.
up. I have to piss. But if you are going to, since we have the new studio built, which is a bar, which at one point
fantastic.
will Periscope, Chaille's trying to force me to do when it's done. We'll get some video out of what you guys have built for us. And so if you work in a bar or you have access to bar shit, coasters, all that kind of shit, bar mats, whatever. If you have bar-related stuff that you want to fucking steal from work and send to us, 212 Van Dyke Street. Van, like you molest kids in. Dyke, like the alternative lifestyle. 212 Van Dyke Street, Bisbee, Arizona, 85603. Send it to me.
I went Zoom. Sorry.
Zoom?
Tell me
shit?
the song from that you want us to close on that's we can find.
Oh, play Your Stupid Dreams.
Yeah.
People love that
From
shit.
your new,
I love that.
your
And
new
I,
record.
I have 2 quick shout outs to my friend Ellie, who's in the
We don't do
hospital.
shout outs on
it's
this.
not a hip hop podcast.
Yeah,
And
this isn't
Alex, he
live.
just lost his brother.
This isn't
I
live.
just want to end on a fucking dark note.
Yeah,
fuck
a
that,
down
please.
note.
This is not live, so Ellie will be dead. That shout out
In
goes
delay, 5-second delay.
And your friend, whose brother died, was
Alex,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, Alex will have killed himself because of the loss of his brother.
Yeah. Well,
And yes, and thank you for the outpouring of support when I suddenly had to put my cat trousers
Yeah,
down.
sorry to hear that.
I had to put a fucking weepy thing on Twitter, knowing I'm going to get my balls busted. But fortunately, it was a lot of fucking nice people, which creep me out even more.
That's even,
So,
yeah.
Speaking of death and doom and the emptiness of life, please enjoy thoroughly this song, Stupid Dreams by Mishka Shubaly.
Crickets.
You're used to that, right?
That was my fan.
All right.
Well, there you lay in your diaper, just as cute as could be, propped up on your elbows and smiling at me. I drove in for your birthday. Your mother drove me away, but that woman taught you how to crawl, and that'll come in handy someday. Hey kid, hang on to your dreams, your stupid, hopeless dreams. They'll grow meeker and colder as you get weaker and older, making the same money you did when you were 17. No, it's never too early to throw in the towel, but it's always too late to die with dignity. So give up, give in, surrender without a fight. This is your last chance to snatch failure from the jaws of defeat. Wild horses on the jukebox, or whatever the hell it was. But we were young, we were in love, we were drunk and on drugs. Your mom can say what she likes about how I wasted my time, but I had so much fucking fun burning out at 29. Hey kid, hang on to your dreams, your stupid, hopeless dreams. They'll grow meeker and colder as you get weaker and older, making the same mistakes you did when you were 17. No, it's never too early to throw in the towel, but it's always too late to die with dignity. So give up, give in, surrender without a fight. This is your last chance to snatch failure from the jaws of defeat. 12 years of public school, 15 minutes of fame, 8 hours, 5 days a week for a parking spot with your name. Compare the man you wanted to be to the man you became, and realize, man, those two guys, only their shoe size is the same. I won't have any children, I never had a career, I have no fucking regrets, I guess I'll have another beer. Hey kid, hang on to your dreams,